Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, and a lot of y'all have asked me, hey man, what's the best wristwatch size for my wrist? And people will say, well, my wrist is big or it's small. They don't often provide a lot more specifics. So within this video, I'm going to visually demonstrate the difference between a smaller size wristwatch and a larger size wristwatch. Now I have a 7.5-inch wrist. Right now, I'm wearing a 39mm timepiece. So you can see on my 7.5-inch wrist, even though it's 39mm, this is a Tudor Black Bay 58, even though it's 39mm, it doesn't look too small in my opinion. So, for my wrist size, 7.5 inches, if I try to do a 36mm, in my opinion, it looks too small. But on the low end, I'll go 39mm, very comfortable, still a a nice wrist presence, nothing too commanding, but a nice size. So this is 39mm, and then we'll flip over to the larger end of the scale. Now, typically I wouldn't go 44mm, but when you're dealing with Panerai, you don't want a smaller Panerai, because if you wear one, typically the smaller Panerais are primarily worn by women. So, with a Panerai, 44mm is right, in my opinion. So this right here is a 44mm Panerai Luminor on my 7.5-inch wrist. So you can see it's a more commanding wrist presence, but it's not, for 7.5-inch wrist, it's not too big. It's not like my Super Avenger that I think is a 47mm. Now that fits well because of the design. We'll discuss that within another video. But I think for a 7.5-inch wrist, if you're going large, I wouldn't go any bigger than 44. 44 is the largest that I would go and still look, really good. Ideally, I would stick between 39mm and 42mm. And I think it goes without saying, for a 7.5-inch wrist, I think 40mm is probably just pretty much perfect. And again, 39 is great too. As we demonstrated, 39mm in the Tudor Black Bay 58 is perfectly acceptable in my opinion. It doesn't look small. Some people may say it looks small. I don't think it looks small. I think it looks great. Obviously, it doesn't look as large as a Panerai, but I think it's a great size. To wear this and to wear a 40mm Submariner no date, they're both very very good on the wrist. It's a lot of it's personal preference. Now, something you want to take into consideration, we'll go into this in more depth in another video, but is case thickness, case height. When you're looking at the Tudor Black Bay 58 and then you look at the PAM, you've got a lot more case height. And if you're reaching under a desk, like if I reach under this desk to try to grab something, or maybe you're wearing a dress shirt, these smaller timepieces will fit better underneath the cuff of your shirt. Just another thing to take into consideration. I hope you enjoyed this video. Ask questions below. I'm here to answer any timepiece related questions that you may have. That's why I created this Timepieces for Tomorrow video playlist. And it goes without saying, I want to give a shout out to the most knowledgeable wristwatch personality in the entire world. And that is Archie Luxury, Archibald Chesterfield III. Because I know if I didn't stumble upon his videos, when the only really awesome wristwatch that I had was the Omega Seamaster 300M, which is a great piece, by the way. But if I hadn't stumbled upon his videos, I wouldn't have gotten addicted to this hobby of wristwatches. I mean, there's so many subtle differences, and we'll explore all of those differences within a great amount of depth within this video's playlist. So subscribe, ring that bell icon when you do, and that'll notify you whenever I post another video. And share this video and any of my videos with others. And comment below. Ask me your questions, because I'm always looking for future video topics. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. and ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.